This is a safety tip brought to you by the Certified Horsemanship Association. My name is Teresa Kackart, and this is my registered American horse, Diesel, that I'll be riding today, as well as this lovely little mare, Misty. Today we're going to talk to you about ponying your horse safely. Now, ponying is a great way if you have a young or nervous horse to take them out and show them the world and be able to get them a little bit more exposure while you're safely riding your nice, quiet, gentle horse. It also gives them the opportunity to get the confidence from your well-broke, easygoing, been there, done that type guy, and they can see more of the world. There are a few things to think about safety-wise when you're ponying your horse. First, it's important that your tack be in good repair and your saddle be nice and snug on your horse. You will need to be using your stirrups a little bit more for balance and possibly even if your horse pulls on you to help you set up straight and tall in the saddle. So make sure that your cinch is snug and well adjusted on your horse. The other thing that's really important to do when you pony your horse is you want to make sure that you're always wearing gloves. Anytime you're working with any kind of ropes, let's just go ahead and we'll go for a little walk. Anytime that you're working with any kind of ropes or strap goods, it's a fabulous idea to have gloves on your hands to protect them. We do want to make sure that you have the gloves that are thick enough to where if your horse did set back or pull a little bit, your hands would be protected. Now, the other really important thing to talk about before you actually go out and pony your horses is how you're going to hold the loops or coils that are attached to your pony horse. We want to make sure that your ropes are folded or looped rather than coiled around. You want to make sure that your rope is about a minimum of 10 feet in length. 12 feet is actually better so that you have the ability to let out that line if you need to. You do also want to make sure that you're using a rope halter if possible. Rope halters are fabulous when you use those to pony your horse. It gives you the opportunity to have a little bit more control, and control is important when you're out where you're in an area you have less control of the environment. With the rope halter, your horse will feel what you're asking them to do more completely, and you'll be able to manage them better than you will in a flat leather or nylon halter. Now, on the horse that you're riding, it's very helpful if they can neck rein so that you have the ability to completely devote all of your attention to one hand and just in your line management. Now, with your line management, it's important that when you're holding your line that is attached to your pony horse, that it's very organized. You always want to make sure that your rope is folded and not coiled. If your rope gets coiled, your fingers or hand could get stuck in there and you could be hurt very badly. So keep that rope folded in your hand. I like to hold one end of my line, the end of the line that's attached to the horse's face and halter, the primary line I like to call it, in between my thumb and my pointer finger. You saw I can also reach across and adjust the length of my line with my rein hand easily as well. Now, the other thing you need to know the location of is you need to know where the end of your rope is. If something were to startle your horse, you might actually have to drop that rope to allow the rope to feed out to give your horse a little more space, and then you would fold or coil it back up. So let me just demonstrate that to you. So let's say that this lovely gal I'm ponying here, something scared her and I needed to just let this go. You would have the ability then to drop that line and then pick it right back up and be safe and organized throughout your ponying, making sure that you coil or you fold rather than coil each one of your loops. Now, if you do have to let your line go long, you want to make sure that your lead line doesn't get underneath the tail of the horse that you're riding. So in order to do that, if you have to drop your line and let it go long, always turn your ridden horse into the horse that you're ponying. See how that swings his rump away from the lead line? That's very important because it allows you not to get into a situation where you have a rope under the tail. So as you're ponying your horse, you want your pony horse to ideally stay at your leg, but behind the point of the shoulder of your ridden horse. The biggest reason for that is if your pony horse gets in front of your ridden horse, you can have a little bit of trouble getting organized again. So the ability of your horse to be very well behaved on the end of the lead line is very important. It's always best if your horse ties very well so they respect the pressure and release of the halter, and they're going to be solid citizens, not nibbling on you or lurching ahead or hanging back. Now, if your horse did hang back, let's say there's some grass out on the trail that your horse wants to eat, The easiest thing to do so that you're not being pulled by the arm and you're staying safe and comfortable on your horse is to put your thumb up, just like if you were holding your riding reins. Put your thumb up and just bring it across the front of your saddle horn. That allows your saddle to kind of bear the brunt of your horse weight on the end of your line, and you're not being pulled in the arm quite so much. So you would hold the thumb up, just like our riding instructors tell her, those ice cream cones, across the front of your saddle horn. Never ever the other way. So thumb up, across the front of your saddle horn, and then the weight of your horse can be pulled across your saddle horn. It's important when you are ponying to try and have horses that are able to get along well together, because you could be working in very close company with one another, and you want to make sure that you don't have a horse that would kick or bite the pony horse or the horse that's being ponied itself. So a few safety issues to keep in mind. Also, when you're out ponying your horse, you want to try and remember that you're in an environment where if you were somehow to let go of your pony horse and they were to get loose, that you're going to be safe. So you want to practice this in a controlled environment like an arena or very safe trails that don't have any barbed wire or heavily traveled trafficked roads, so that if something did happen and your pony horse got loose, you could go collect them at the nicest, choicest patch of green grass. Again, this is a safety tip brought to you by the Certified Horsemanship Association.